We can't get in the Champions League for next season. The last thing we want to be is in the Europa League. Isn't that true, JB?
Absolutely. I mean, there's two schools of thought here, really. I mean, there's a little bit more revenue from the Europa League. It's certainly nothing. I think it's about a quarter of what the Champions League offers you. And then you've got the fact that no Premier League team ever really does well playing on the Sunday after a Thursday night on Channel 5. And God knows we can all relate to that. But there's a lot of long journeys because, you know, in terms of it being the second tier of the competition, a lot of Eastern European teams qualify for it in Turkey as well. I don't know. It'd be good to keep us in Europe for the commercial aspect in terms of the status. The players probably don't want to be there. The fans don't really want to be there. So, yeah, I don't want to be in the Europa League. I agree.
Terry, do you think we should make sure we don't end up in a qualification place and just sort of be happy with 7th this year so that next season we can focus solely on getting a good position in the Premier League? Or do you think Manchester United should always be in Europe regardless of the status of the competition?
I think it's hard to secure 7th place. You're going to have to, on purpose, you're going to have to lose games on purpose to kind of...
I don't know, we've done well all season to get to 7th.
Yeah, I know.
Moyes is adept at 7th.
It's one of those things. That means, you know, we're going to play Liverpool and we're going to play Man City in coming weeks, and we're going to have to try to play for a draw or lose on purpose. So I don't want us to qualify for the Europa League. We've seen teams like Liverpool this year who I don't think would have been as great if they had to play 2 games a week. In the same way that sort of Manchester United and other teams have. So there is an advantage to not being in the Europa League. A quarter of the money, it's not really worth the hassle and the time and what it will, you know, I think how it affects on the pitch. And for me, I don't know, it's hard because with City winning the League Cup, doesn't it drop down to 6th place now as well? So
yeah.
It could even drop lower than that if City won the FA Cup as well. So
we'll have no choice.
So it's one of those things. I think we'll end up in the Europa League, but I don't want us to be there.
Well, in Moyes we trust. He's done very well so far this season to keep us sort of away from any sort of qualification places. So he'll probably do it for the next 12 games. So let's talk about the Champions League. We've got a massive game against Olympiacos. Johnny Bravo, at this stage, would you rest players against West Brom and just say, look, the most important thing is that we go hell for leather against Olympiacos, give up on West Brom and rest everybody, RVP, Rooney, Carrick, for Olympiacos? Or would you sort of try to get the best of both?
I would rest the players, and David Moyes would probably be very glad to do that anyway, because he's got his own little gems. He's got Cleverley, he doesn't do a great deal. He's got Valencia, who can't cross, but he can get to the byline. You know, Moyes loves that business. And Ashley Young, who can, I don't know, I feel too harsh on Ashley Young. I mean, he's improving, isn't he? Always behind the guy, and he's scored a couple of humdingers in the last couple of months. He still can't cross the ball from that side. But, you know, David Moyes will play those 3 on the weekend, on Saturday, and we'll rest players. So, yeah, best of both worlds in a way.
Yeah, I think David Moyes should rest himself at the moment, the way he's playing.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Again, I'm in 2 minds. To rest all those players with the squad we've got, if 3 or 4 of our best players are not playing against West Brom, we're not going to win. So I don't know if that's the right thing to do. We're not going to win.
In an ideal world, David Moyes will know what his starting 11 against Olympiacos is. Do you think he knows who those players will be at this stage, or maybe will he be looking at players against West Brom and saying, oh, maybe I should start Butner?
God, no, please no Butner. I think in an ideal world for me, the team that would start against Olympiacos would be the team that started against Palace. Much fewer crosses, a little bit more free-flowing football. Although it wasn't. People got carried away. It wasn't that amazing. It was still 2-0 at Crystal Palace. But they're a Pulis team. They sat men behind the ball and defended pretty well. But we actually created a decent amount of chances as well. Actually managed some forward passes. Holy crap!
Whee.
Yeah, I know. So that's the team he should play. Whether or not he's going to do that because it's Europe, he's a conservative guy. I really don't know. I mean, it's hard to second guess, isn't he? How many different lineups? I think he's not picked the same lineup once this term, has he?
No. Do you think he knows his best team? There sort of seems to be 3 players that swap game in, game out.
Yeah, I don't think he does, to be honest. There's always decisions that make no sense. You know, away at Olympiacos, Fellaini and Januzaj missing out. Januzaj not even been on the bench when we didn't have a game for 10 days. It didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. And we all think we can guess the team. Oh, these 3 or 4 players will be in, and then he'll throw Ashley Young in over Januzaj, who's in form. Or, Kagawa will come in. For instance, that was Kagawa's first performance against Olympiacos. And now he hasn't had a great season by any stretch, but he played quite well against Swansea and then didn't get on a pitch again for a month. I don't think he knows his best team. And I reckon there'll be some shocking decisions in terms of selections over the next 2 weeks that'll stun us all.
But I just think subtlety's lost on him. He sees Kagawa, you know, like little pirouettes away from 3 players and then distributes it. Everyone, we're all going, oh, that's what we want. And Moyes is looking at it. What's he thinking? No, I don't like that.
He didn't even cross the ball. Yeah. That was awful. You didn't need to cross the ball.
Go that wide.
That's my Scottish impression. Right, we've just talked about teams, so let's move on to teams. Do we think Mata will start or be rested? Who the hell knows in the mad mind of David Moyes? JB, what is your starting lineup for West Brom?
Let's see. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure about the fitness of Raphael. So if Raphael back, Tell?
Yeah, he should be.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to go with the strong lads because I think it's the strong boys you need. I'm going to go with Vidic and Rio centre half and Raphael
pace.
Well, no. See, I think they're going to need strength against Anichebe, but he's fast as well. So we're going to get Strauss, aren't we? Ever left back, Fellaini and Carrick in midfield. And I'm just going to play the team that I think we should play against Olympiacos because we need to get some unity. There's a bit of cohesion. They need to know how to play together. Mata right flank. He's going to play like an inside right kind of role. Janusaj left flank, so we can get some of Davies crosses in. And Rooney in the hole and Van Persie up front. Maybe we should have Van Persie in the hole. I don't know. He's been complaining recently about he'd rather come more deep and occupy the position. So maybe Rooney wants to be that number 9 he kind of craves, and we should give RVP the whole job. I don't know.
I mean, for me, not clinical enough, Wayne Rooney. To be obviously he's a fantastic footballer, but not quite clinical enough to be, I think, a number 9 and lead the line on his own. Terry, what is your team?
Exactly the same as Johnny's, other than I would bring Chris Smalling back into centre back. I felt he had a fantastic sort of 4 or 5 weeks where he played there every game, and then lo and behold, he gets stuck out to right back against Olympiacos, and he looks awful. So he's a centre back. He's a top quality centre back. And I'd have him in the game. I'd have him in the team now, and have him there until the end of the season to get him ready for next year. Let's
talk about Chris Smalling. He seems to split opinion an awful lot. Excellent, generally considered as a centre back, but utterly appalling as a right back. JB, why do we think that is? And do you think he has a future as a Manchester United player? Is he good enough ultimately?
Certainly, I think he could be one of our centre back pairings for the next 8-9 years if he manages to stay fit and people play him in the proper position. He's one of those who he's versatile and he wants to play for the team and wants to kind of like do a job and help the team out. So he will slot into that right back position even though he's not suited to it. I'm not seeing many fullbacks that are 6'5". I mean, you need that mobility and balance, and he just doesn't have it. His centre of gravity is far too high to be a right back, so it's not really fair. You would know. Terry, do you agree with that?
Yeah, the guy is an absolute top quality centre back, and a few names you can throw out there: Yapstam, John Terry, even someone like Nemanja Vidic. If you stuck them at right back, even at the height of their powers, they'd look awful. They would not be able to get, not defensively, but they wouldn't be able to go forward and do what Raphael does or Zabaleta. I don't know what we expect from Chris Smalling. I think you're an idiot, an absolute idiot, if you think that Chris Smalling is not good enough to play for Manchester United. It's simple as that.
Agreed.
Boom. Terry thinks you're an idiot and your mum. Guys, let's talk about West Brom. They beat us at Old Trafford and we thought the season would sort of kick off from there, and it just sort of got worse and worse. Who do we have to worry about at the Hawthorns, JB?
Let's see. I think we all know about Amalfitano and Berahino who ran at us at Old Trafford and kind of owned us. We really need to occupy that space. I hope Carrick sits back and just kind of like tries to soak it up as a holding player. Anichebe I've mentioned. He's done a mischief on us before, and he's scored against both Liverpool and Chelsea recently in 1-1 draws at the Hawthorns. So yeah, I would say the strength and tenacity of Anichebe, and maybe the running power of, like I said, Amalfitano and Berahino. Okay.
Tell, do you agree with that? Anybody else?
Chris Brunt. I love Chris Brunt.
Good deliveries, yeah.
I adore him. He's one of those players. He's a real Premiership player. He's not often amazing, but he never has a bad game. He's very consistent. He can whip in great balls, and he's got a brilliant strike on him. So watch out for a player like him on the pitch as well.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right then, guys, it's time to predict. JB, what do you think the score will be?
Well, let's see. In the last couple of months, they seem to draw 1-1 with Everton, Liverpool, Chelsea. So all the big teams, which means we probably stand a chance. We might actually get something if we're not playing to that kind of form. Oh God, I hate this. I hate this game. I think we're going to win 2-1.
Okay, Tell.
Man United 1, West Brom 2. Man United will lose on Saturday. And
that's nice of you to say, innit?
I'm really sorry.
Go on.
I know I shouldn't say that, but
Thanks for coming, Tel.
I think we're going to lose. I really do. I think we're going to lose. I think we're going to, and it'll be a last-minute winner from a header, from a scrappy corner, something stupid, and we'll all have a really depressing weekend. Thank you for tuning in.
Both managers are in the firing line, both under a bit of pressure, so probably the players won't turn up and it'll be 0-0.
You could be right, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but I mean, I could be. Thank you, JB. That's really nice of you to say that I could be right. I'm always right, apart from generally when I predict. I think I've got the Palace score right. I'm clinging on to that. Terry, while you're here, tell us about your channel.
My channel, it's a Devil's Bus TV. It's mainly filmed on a bus. Man United fans going to and from Old Trafford, away games across Europe. So tune in, give it a little look. The videos they're all right. They're a little bit of a laugh, and it's all about having a bit of fun.
Well sold. The videos are all right. Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully, Terry, you won't be right about the scoreline. Everybody who's watching, make sure you like this video, subscribe, comment. Also, tell us what team you would start, whether you agree with what the boys said, what you think the score will be. Have a great weekend. Come on, you Reds.